Do you understand the question that was put to you?
Yes.
Medical evidence has been presented that you suffered brain damage. Now, I want to be absolutely certain you understand what you were asked and are in full possession of your faculties when you reply. To that end, I want you to repeat my question back to me.
You asked me if I killed my stepmother, Claudia Zacchara Corinthos.
And did you? Young man, are you incapable of answering, or are you refusing to answer?
No.
No what? No, you did not kill your stepmother?
No, I'm not refusing to answer your question.
Well, you're certainly taking your time about it.
Sorry.
Young man, the court is well aware you've been intimidated and pressured and lied to and lied about and generally coerced into a cover-up of the events that took place surrounding the death of Claudia Zacchara Corinthos on November 4th, 2009. However, you are now in a court of law. You have been asked a direct question by the court. Declining to reply is not an option. You will be held in contempt and subject to criminal prosecution. Do you understand?
Yes, Your Honor.
Now, Detective Falconeri has given testimony and presented evidence that you killed Claudia Corinthos on the night of November 4th. Did you, in fact, do so?
Yes, Your Honor.
I'm going to need to hear you say the words, son.
On the night of November 4th, I killed my stepmother, Claudia Zacchara Corinthos.
Michael Corinthos III, will you tell the court, in your own words, how you came to take the life of Claudia Zacchara Corinthos on the night of November 4th of last year?
Where do you want me to start?
Well, the same place I expect you to end, by telling the truth.
I mean, do you want me to start at Claudia's party or when I drove away from the house?
Well, do you feel that any of that is relevant to your actions in the cabin?
The party was. Claudia lost it completely. She had a gun. My mom was begging Jason to shoot her, but he couldn't get a shot. She took my mom into the elevator, and my mom could barely stand up straight because the labor just started. And she was so scared. You know, my mom doesn't really get scared, so I knew it was bad, and no one could find her or Claudia.
So did you take it upon yourself to look for her?
No. I decided to leave. I convinced myself that everyone would be better off if I wasn't around. Just stupid. Like everyone didn't have enough to already deal with. So I drove north, going to Canada on Route 56, and I saw a wrecked car on the side of the road. I went to go check out the car, and it had a valet ticket to the Metro Court. And then I realized it was the car that Claudia used to take my mother away. I followed a trail through the woods to the cabin. And as I got closer, I heard my mom screaming. She was begging for Claudia not to take the baby. And that would be Jocelyn, my baby sister. I ran to the porch. I grabbed something, the axe handle, and I ran inside, and I saw Claudia was standing there with my baby sister in a basket, and she was trying to leave. And my mom was still on the couch screaming. Yeah, and I hit her. And she fell, and she died.
Now, to the best of your recollection, what were you thinking when you picked up the axe handle and came in the door?
My mom needed my help. that Claudia was going to hurt my mom and my baby sister. And that I needed to stop her.
And when did you realize your stepmother was dead?
Right away. I knelt down beside Claudia's body, and there was a lot of blood. You know, and I got on my hands and on my shirt, and later it got on my dad's shirt.
And at what point did your father, Michael Sonny Corinthos, arrive at the cabin?
My dad was never there. Jason and Sam showed up. Sam took my sister and my mom to the hospital, and Jason and me went outside to the road to wait for my dad.
And what happened subsequent to your father's arrival?
Him and Jason talked for a while.
Did you hear what was said?
No, but I'm sure they were talking about how to handle all this. They didn't want me to get into trouble.
Did anyone at any time, mother, father, Jason Morgan, Samantha McCall, suggest notifying the police?
No.
And after your father had conferred with Mr. Morgan, what happened next?
My dad drove me home in my car.
Well, I want to commend you, Michael, for your decision to cooperate with the court, and the court wishes to thank you for answering clearly and under the circumstances remarkably concisely. Now, just one final question. When you walked through the door of the cabin, wielding the axe handle, and struck your stepmother, were you trying to kill her?
I didn't care what happened to Claudia. I just wanted to protect my mom and my baby sister.
All right, Michael Corinthos, Jr., you have confessed to taking the life of Claudia Corinthos on the night of November 4th, 2009. And the court finds that you are in full possession of your mental faculties and also finds your confession to be credible and in accord with the evidence and the timeline presented by agents of law enforcement, specifically Detective Dante Falconeri. The court commends Dante Falconeri for his diligence and his unswerving commitment to the rule of law. Unlike other principals in this case, he has conducted himself with honor and respect for the office he upholds. Michael Corinthos III, you are hereby remanded into custody to await sentencing for the crime of manslaughter. Said sentencing to take place on Friday, the 7th of May.
Your Honor, at this time...
I am finished, Ms. Miller. Since the defendant is a demonstrated flight risk, no petition for bail will be heard. Guard, restrain the prisoner. Take him out.
Your Honor, if I may, the prisoner's my brother. I respectfully request that I be allowed to handle the procedure.
I could cite conflict of interest, but given your exemplary behavior thus far, I won't. Detective Falconeri, you may take the prisoner into custody. And I am instructing you at this time, formally, to place him under arrest, so that for once, we can follow the letter of the law. You could step down off the stand, son.
Michael Corinthos III, you are under arrest. Anything you say can and will be held against you in a court of law. Understand these rights as I've explained them to you?
Yes.
Let's go.
Mr. Corinthos, in the light of your son's confession, all charges against you in regard to the death of your wife, Claudia Zakara Corinthos, are withdrawn. You are a free man for the time being. Now, before I adjourn, I would